Is the golden era of the internet gone now? For me, there was a huge perceptible shift in the internet around 2009 when Facebook changed the friend feed away from chronological order and towards an algorithmic selection. Within another 2 years, it became more like a news feed. Google search result quality went downhill significantly in the 2010s. This is partly due to other websites performing search engine optimizations, but Google also upped its advertising. Reddit got quite big at this time and killed off forums and blogs, killing off diversity of thought as a result. For me, the downhill trend starts at 2010. I could see arguments for a time in the last 2 decades before it, but I'd be surprised by anyone arguing for a date after 2010. Long gone. You can tell by how 90% of traffic on the internet is bots or AI scraping. Things were better in the 90s, well, except that you paid per minute and needed a while to load a web page. There is tons of alternative places, look at the Fediverse or even the dark web, but indeed, mainstream websites with their mandatory app do suck. It finally died in 2016-2018, the last years before its demise. Older internet was a strange community feel with creativity of a website and concept being a driving force for people to see their websites. Now it's more like companies following a cookie-cutter idea of basic things to bring people in along with tailored algorithmic feeds to keep people hooked for the long run. The golden era ended around the turn of the century. In the 90s, no companies had really figured out there was money to be made, so there was no ads. Also, there was true privacy. You could make an account on a message board without even using an email address, giving you total anonymity. Sure, the speed sucked and some cool shit didn't exist yet, but that was the golden age. IMO. Wow. You mean this endless addiction to outrage and being angry and feeling shitty? 247. As people get dumber and more ignorant and just shittier for clout clicks, isn't already enough evidence the internet is bad and broken? Likely has been for a while now? Yes, the golden age of the internet is long gone. All that's left is a cancerous pit. It's been gone ever since you no longer needed a modem and some technical know-how to access the internet. Once people invented trolling back in the mid-90s, it only went downhill. On the other hand, video over internet works now. That is kind of nice. It is generally accepted that the golden era of the internet ended in September 1993. https://n.wikipedia.org Wiki Eternal September. Everyone is saying that the good old days were so much better, but hold on a minute, I had to wait minutes for a single JPG to load. There was no such thing as streaming video. Social media didn't exist at all. And while it's mostly a cesspool now, it's also fully integrated into society and plays an important role. Forums were king, but forums for specialized groups still exist. Online shopping didn't exist, but today I can find exactly the product I need in minutes. My kids can have video calls with their grandparents and it feels like they are in the same room. Don't get me wrong, there is lots of garbage. Lots. We are drowning in ads and paywalls, and the innocence and sense of community is long gone. But as someone who was born when file sharing meant swapping floppies at school, grew up on dial-up and BBS access, and threw all my money at the best cable internet available when it first came out, the internet is a marvel of the modern world. It's been gone for decades. I genuinely miss it every day. The general internet became worse because of more accessible solutions for accessing it. IQs online were generally very high when setting up a computer, and internet access wasn't trivial. That meant that everybody you talked to online wasn't a dummy. Any conversation tended to be interesting and communities tended to be self-regulating. IQs online dropped down when every idiot got an easy-to-use computer in their pocket. This is what really ruined the internet, despite far better technology available. I seriously think it's possible most people will mostly stop using the internet eventually. Not that it won't exist. We will use it functionally like interconnected devices such as streaming and doing banking kind of stuff. And everything enterprise will happen. But to use specifically the internet as a social or entertainment thing like we used to, it has become so shitty. I think we might see a backlash of people giving up on it. I have, and everyone I know has too. Reddit is the only thing I use now that's not a functional thing. There will be 2 populations. The weird futuristic people who can't socialize or survive without a screen or hologram in front of them being fed by the machines, and the earthly people who shun that world. I miss long-form blogging. I can read pages and pages of text faster than I can watch a video with embedded ads. I miss the days when you could use H1 tags to make a headline stand out instead of resorting to a crummy embedded screenshot of text. Back in like 2010-2012-ish. Long gone. The cracks had already started to form by the time Facebook hit the scene, and it just never got any better after that. Yes, it's long gone. The golden era was maybe 15 years ago or so. The golden era ended like 20 years ago, homie. Gone, gone, gone. What remains is the weirdest dystopian corporate shell hellscape pointing like a neon signpost to the problem. Source: was here from close to the beginning. BBC pre-dial-up internet ran-ists have seen every era of the internet come and go, each progressively and with intent washing away more and more of what once made it special. I don't know if I'd say there was a golden era, but we're definitely in the worst period for the internet.